the price one increase, the demand for the other will fall. Okay? All right, what do we got? Income? I went over, right? I went over normal, so I'm just going to kind of go through this. We went over normal inferior goods before. All right, here is something I alluded to, but you need to know the difference between change in demand or an increase in demand. When they say demand increases, we're going from A to C. We're shifting the curve, okay? When we're going from like A to B or B to A, that's a change in quantity demanded. So either like cereal raised their prices, or there was a supply shift that changed the price. That's quantity demanded. Okay? All right. Oh, supply.
That was so fast.
Holy cow. Yeah, holy cow. It's like my New York speed just going on me here. All right. Supply is the different quantities of goods that sellers are willing and able to sell at different prices. Now we got to think differently, because we're typically thinking like a consumer. Now we have to think like a producer, which is okay. And they have the direct relation. Price goes up, they want to supply more. Why? Because they're making more money. As price falls, they're going to supply less because they're making less money. You okay with it?
Yeah.
Seem like you're moaning and groaning. Yeah, me too. I'm allergic to dust. This is just not, I'm on record. This is not a really good place to work if you're allergic to dust. Not really clean. Okay, here we go. All right, for whatever reason, kids remember timer, but rat nest, no. So resource prices, meaning the biggest one is usually wages, but also like cotton for shirts, anything that helps make the product. And oil is a resource price. Alternative production, kind of a tricky one. So that would be, if I have a factory that I could produce coats and shirts, I'm going to produce the product that makes me the most money. And that's alternative production. Third, technology. That's one that we kind of know. Now we're going to the next part. Number of sellers. Sellers. So if the NFL expands and brings more football teams, that's a supply shift. We have more people playing NFL football. All right, I put a little bit. 5, expectations. Now this you got to think differently. If prices are going to be high, we're going to supply less now because we know in the future we could get those high prices. And then you have subsidies and taxes. That's your revenue. Subsidies shift supply to the right, taxes shift supply to the left. Okay? We're good? I'm sure we got it? Rat nest? All right, timer and rat nest. All right, I just wanted to point this out. If they go at $4, they call it a disequilibrium because it's not at the equilibrium. So, what do we have here? Anything above the equilibrium, we have a surplus, right? We're supplying more than we need. How am I going to get rid of that surplus? The prices are going to drop, all right? And then I'm probably going to just show it to you the other way, but we'll see. Okay. By the way, when government puts a $2 price here, what? What's it called?
Ceiling.
Price ceiling, upside down house, right? Price ceiling. Okay? Now you have a shortage, and since more people want your product, they're demanding 50, and you're only supplying 20, typically the price, will then come up. Okay. All right, then the double shifter. Does anyone remember what we do with the double shifter? How do we get, what?
We use 2 graphs.
You just need 2 graphs, okay? In a double shifter, what's one of the answers always going to be? Indeterminate, okay? Now, on the AP exam, they moved away from indeterminate, I noticed, but they'll only ask you, like if output increases in both, they might just say increase output, okay? So just don't fall for that. All right, voluntary exchange, which is all about consumer and producer surplus. Consumer surplus is the difference between what you're willing to pay and what you're actually going to pay. So I'm going to pay $20,000 for a car, that's my max. I pay $18,000, I make $2,000 in consumer surplus. So it's buyer's maximum minus the price. And the producer surplus is the opposite. It's the price they're willing to sell, the minimum, compared to the price they get. Hopefully this next slide will be graphic. Hello. Hannah, when are you going to be able to run again?
July.
July? How long was that thing in operation?
3 months.
That is fast. That is great. All right, consumer surplus. Everything above the price and below demand. There you go. Everything above the price and below demand. That works in all the markets. Above price, below demand. Producer surplus. Below the price, above supply. Fitz is noticing. No dead weight loss. Perfectly efficient. What's the next thing up there? All right, which we kind of like almost did, but. All right, government involvement, price controls. So price ceiling, like I said before, upside down house. All right, anytime the price is below the equilibrium, it's binding. If they give you a price ceiling above the equilibrium, you just use the equilibrium price. All right, above the equilibrium is not binding. Anytime you're below, you're going to have a shortage. Why? You're supplying 20 and the demand's 50. So even though a price ceiling might, like for housing, might seem great, you're not going to have as many houses supplied as you would want. Alright, now we're going to go the other way. The price floor, again in the upside down house, it's above the equilibrium. And here you're going to have a surplus, like minimum wage. So you're going to have a lot of people wanting jobs, but the demand for jobs not being that great. So it would like kind of increase unemployment. All right, you guys have an awesome weekend. Whoever flipped on the camera, turn it off, please.